a radiographer salary in the UK. So I'm not beating around the bush with this one. I've got a payslip here with me, and I'll be telling you exactly what radiographers earn in the UK. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Rajuno. I'm a Nigerian sonographer in the UK, and on my channel I provide tips, I provide insights, on how to achieve your dreams as a radiographer, a sonographer, or other healthcare worker in the UK. So you're welcome. For those of you who are here for the numbers, just use the timestamps below and try to, fast forward to where the numbers are. Okay. But for the rest of you who are interested in having all the juicy details of a radiographer's pay, then that's fine. Hold my hands and let's go. So I am a radiographer and I am here to show you a radiographer's payslip. This one. But I do not own this payslip. It's okay, I'll explain. So I'll give you a bit of a background. Now, I am first and foremost a radiographer, and throughout my practice in Nigeria, I did practice as one, So I did x-rays, I did CT, MRI, mammography, all that lot. But then I moved to the UK, and since I've been in the UK, I have been in the UK as a sonographer, because at some point in Nigeria, I specialized in ultrasound, in sonography, and I have been, a sonographer since I moved to the UK. Which is why I do not personally own a radiographer's payslip. However, I have lots of friends and colleagues who are radiographers in the UK, and one of them very kindly gave me their payslip, which is what I'm going to share with you. So shout out to them for actually kindly doing this so I can inform the rest of you who are interested in this kind of information. Okay, now, the payslip I'm going to be showing to you is from May 2023. And the only reason why I did not get a more recent payslip is because the other payslips that my colleagues had did not just contain the basic salary of a radiographer. There were a lot of extra pay on there, or enhanced working pay, or tax arrears, stuff like that. And I wanted to show you guys the skeletal pay of a radiographer, like the basic pay without any extras involved. So the payslip that I have today would just be a representation of a radiographer's salary in its basic form, skeletal form, no extra payments included. Okay. Now, remember when I told you guys that I wasn't going to beat around the bush with this one? Well, I meant it. So this is the payslip. If you've received a wage or a salary in the UK before, then the chances are you understand everything that is going on in this payslip, the figures, the acronyms, and all that they mean, right? But if you're overseas, then the chances are greater that you need an explanation on what's going on in this payslip, okay? You need to understand what the different things they mean and how you arrive at the net pay, basically. And so I'm here to give you that. I'm here to explain all that for you. So we'll start from the top. Now, this is what an NHS payslip looks like. And this payslip is for a band 6 radiographer who is working full-time at 37.5 hours a week. Now, I have removed all the identifiers just for confidentiality purposes. And the intention today is for me to dissect this payslip. So, for those who don't already know, you can understand what all the numbers, the acronyms, what they all mean, basically. So moving on. Now, this radiographer salary as at May 2023 was £33,706 annual salary. Now, that's the annual salary before any tax or any other deductions are made. Now, there's a reason why I'm mentioning this, so stick with me. Now, the pay scale for radiographers, sonographers, nurses, occupational therapists, and some other allied medical professions in the UK, they are set according to something called the Agenda for Change, AFC. Okay? So where you are on the pay scale is what determines what you're going to be paid. Okay. Now, why am I mentioning this? I'm mentioning this because as at June 2023, the entry level for band 6 radiographers, for band 6 NHS radiographers increased. It increased from what you're seeing here in this payslip that I'm showing to you, which is £33,706. It increased to £35,392. Again, the only reason why I did not bring the payslip that has, £35,392 is because it's got some other extra payments in it, and you cannot just get the basic salary. So what I'm doing in this video is I'm going to show you what a radiographer earns, what a radiographer as at, May 2023 end, and what a current band 6 radiographer would be earning. So I'm going to tell you all that, okay? So stick with me through the rest of the video. Now, moving on, the next box here is the INC date. This stands for the incremental date. Now, what is this? This is like the anniversary of the date that you either started working in the new post or in a new grade. And if you have achieved the required number of years to progress to the next pay step, this is the date when you will get an automatic increase in your salary. So example, if you start at £35,392, it just means that your next pay step would be in the next 2 years, according to the Agenda for Change pay scale. As seen in this picture here, you can see it on the picture. So on the 19th of November 2025, your pay will be automatically increased to £37,350. Okay? So don't let anybody put the wrong incremental date on your payslip. Your payslip should have the right incremental date when you started that job. Or if you actually move into another grade, for instance, you were band 5 when you were employed. If you now progress to band 6, the date you progress to band 6 becomes your new incremental date. So by the time you're in the next pay step, so maybe in 2 years or in 3 years, you're on the next pay step, it is on that date that your salary will be automatically increased. Okay? So the tax code here, 1257L, tells the tax collector that the first £12,570 of your annual salary must not be taxed because it is considered your personal allowance. Now, having a personal allowance with this tax code is common across most workers in the UK, okay? Everyone has a personal allowance. So with an annual income of £33,706, if you take away £12,570 from that, then what is really being taxed annually is £21,136. Okay? So your tax code is very important and you should always make sure you have the right tax code so you're not being overtaxed. So moving on, this is the pay and allowances section. Now in this section, you have the description as your basic pay. The next section is the total amount of hours that you've worked in that month, which is in this case 162.95 hours. And then the next section tells you how many hours you've been paid for in that month, which is also 162.95 hours. So in essence, my colleague was paid for all the hours worked that month. Now the next section is the rate per hour. So a band 6 radiographer as at May 2023 was paid £17.2378 per hour. Now, if you multiply this by 162.95 hours, arrive at £2,808.83 in this next section, which is what you earn before any tax deductions. So the next section is the heartbreaking section, the deduction section, the section that literally stabs us in the chest. This section can make you cry when you see your payslip. Literally, it can make you cry. Okay. Anyway, so just see for yourself. So without getting into too much detail of how this works, a general overview is that out of the £2,808 that was made, and after the personal allowance has been removed, a tax of £297 was deducted. Now, tax is also known as payee, pay as you earn. Now, NI stands for National Insurance Contributions. So £211 was deducted for that, and £275 is deducted for your NHS pension contributions. So in total, out of the £2,808 that was made, £783.57 was deducted, and you're left with a net pay of £2,025.26. And this is what you'll see in your bank account when you receive your salary. Meanwhile, if you want to have more in your bank account, so what some people do is that they opt out of the NHS pension. You do have the right to do that. However, it is not the kind of decision that you make from watching a video like this. So what you need to do is you need to research about it and see, determine if it's a good decision for you. Because some people don't believe in the NHS pension, some people don't want to be in it, and they opt out. And if you opt out of the NHS pension, it just means that money that should have gone to your pension, you receive it. So it might be more money for you. You might like that, but it's your choice to make, and you should do your research and determine if it's what's best for you before doing it. Now, remember when I told you earlier in the video that I will show you what a current band 6 radiographer earns, because what the payslip I'm showing to you is what they earned as at May 2023. But currently, their salary has increased to £35,392 entry level. So I'm going to show you what their take-home pay would be currently. Okay, so I'm here to fulfill the promise I made earlier in the video. But before I do that, just a brief reminder, okay? A brief reminder that if you love to keep receiving eye-opening, informative content like this, then please go down, subscribe to my channel, because it truly motivates me to keep making content like this, okay? All right, so let's crack on. What a Band 6 radiographer currently earns. Let's do that. So if you Google the Agenda for Change 2022 or even 2023, you just scroll down and then you see this Nursing Note blog, yeah? You click into it and it will take you to the take home pay calculator, okay? Now you scroll down, you change your band to band 6, since we are working with band 6. And if you're just starting, you set the number of years to 1 year, and you set your contracted work hours to 37.5 hours. For radiographers, that's full time, and you get it. You get an estimate of your pay, instantly. It shows you that a band 6 radiographer currently gets paid about £18 per hour, and then has a tax deduction of £323, national insurance deduction of 228, NHS pension deduction of £289, leaving you with a take home pay of approximately £2,110 a month. So the difference in salary from the new increase is just basically about £85. Yeah. So what the radiographer earned in May and what they currently earn now, there's not much of a difference. It's just about £85 in between. Good for some, maybe not so good for some. So the difference is not really much. £85, is what the new increase. It's just when you see the figures from 33,000 to 35,000, somehow you kind of feel like it's a huge thing that has been added onto your salary. But when you get down to it, to the crux of the matter, it's not that much. Your take home pay is not that much of a difference. But at all, 9 bad pass, so better than nothing. Now, you should know that what we've just calculated typically applies to band 6 radiographers who are outside of the London area. Now, the band 6 radiographers in the London area, in and around London area, would normally receive what we call the high cost pay supplement, and this would be in addition to their basic pay. So they receive a little bit extra just for living in London, because London is a really expensive place, and so they give you that extra incentive to get you to stay, and help you with the high cost of living in London. So the salary of a radiographer would vary, in London would vary from those outside. And even in London, the closer you are to central London and outskirts of London, stuff region to region like that, it kind of varies as well. So that's it. That's it really. Those are the main bits of the payslip. Okay, so I'll show you the other bits of the payslip. The rest of the payslip is your gross pay, which is your total untaxed pay till date in the current financial year. Then you have your total national insurance contributions till date. You have your total taxable pay in the current financial year till date. You have your pension contributions till date in the current financial year. You have the date you were paid, your pay date, and the month that you have been paid for, in this case, May 2023. Okay. And there, my friends, is what a radiographer earns in the UK. So the money might look big. It might look big if you're looking at it from a certain perspective. However, by the time all your bills go out, what is usually left is usually not so much, which is why a lot of radiographers would engage in overtime shifts or extra shifts, stuff like that, just to augment their income so they have enough to do other things as well. Because you don't want to just be working to pay bills. You want to work, pay bills, and also have enough money to do other things and other commitments. So that's why a lot of people engage in overtime sometimes. Okay, so if you've come this far, it is great to have you. Thank you. And if you've received any value from watching this video at all, any value at all, then please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I need you to like, to comment, to share, and if you're interested in stuff like this, I've got really interesting stuff on my blog as well, the Naija UK Sonographer. Please do well to check that out. I'll drop a link in the bio, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, all right, bye.